slap incident. But in this situation, what he's doing is he's ripping the Band-Aid off, and he's also ripping off the scab. Very foolish thing for him to be doing.
Yeah, Jennifer, you know, it does seem a little bit over the top, and I wonder what his motivation is. The only thing I can think of is maybe he thinks he's really not guilty of these crimes or this battering, but, you know, that's for another day. But the thing that I wanted to point out to you is that what Amber Heard says is even continuing today online. Our viewers are not very happy with Amber Heard, and I'm wondering if you think she's going to face this in the courtroom. Now, again, she's still up against Johnny Depp, one of the biggest stars in the world, seemingly, based on online and the things that she's saying, very much beloved. So that's going to be a problem for her as well.
Definitely. And so you ask why Johnny Depp's doing it. He's doing it just for that reason. He got shot down in England, but here, I mean, he's worshipped here by a lot of people. And so this only helps his image in that he's trying to say she's the liar, she's the bad person. In the court of public opinion, I think people are still saying that they look at Johnny Depp, you know, and they say, oh, she must be wrong. She's being vindictive and she's the wrong one. So it is helping him maybe revive his career, because he did lose parts and he did lose some money because of this. And look, these people were once married, they loved each other. And as a family law attorney, I can see this happens a lot. People are angry, love turns to hate, and then they're out to get each other and they're vindictive. And that's what's going on here. It's not about the money. It's not about the $50 million. I think it's about getting vengeance and showing that he's right and he wants to prove a point. So I think that's what's going on here.
Yeah, from reading through the filings in this case, these are two people I don't think ever really belonged together. Things started fairly quickly after they got together. Donnell Crossland, of what import is it that he is actually never mentioned in that Washington Post op-ed? Is that important? Could that hurt him in court?
Well, I think, you know, if we back up just a bit, this is definitely, the question is this an Ike and Tina Turner? No. Is it a Jesse Smollett, a hoax, as Depp is claiming? It's not. What it is Ms. Heard writing a piece about women who suffer from domestic violence and all that she's seeing, and as an advocate for this, she's expressing that. And, you know, as counsel pointed out, Depp is just used this opportunity to now get back at her from what happened in the Sun lawsuit. Now, in the Sun lawsuit, the judge found, again, it wasn't an Ike and Tina Turner situation, but they used the word that she was attacked at least 12 times, whatever attacked means. So was she extremely abused, such as in the Ike and Tina Turner situation? No. But was she attacked, harassed? Maybe yes. And so she's writing about this. She's writing about her experiences. She never called his name, and I think that that's a strong point for her to fight this. He can extrapolate that he's talking about him, but that leaves the burden on him to show that, and I don't think he's going to be able to do that.
Well, you know, Amber Heard, she's admitted to being involved in some physical altercations with him. He's called her an abuser. He's going to get on the stand and say that to this jury. She's going to get on the stand and tell them he was the abuser. It is going to be one of the most, you know, incredible he said, she said stories we've ever seen here on Court TV. And a quick reminder for you folks, Court TV cameras will be inside that courtroom for this trial, which is set to begin next Monday, April 11th. And lead anchor Vinnie Politan will be live in Virginia next week as this trial gets underway, so you don't want to miss that. All right, it is time now for us to step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from you, 13th juror. We asked you about Amber Heard's counterclaims against Johnny Depp. Now, she's suing Depp for defamation as well, claiming he defamed her by calling her a liar and a hoaxer. Do you think her counterclaim will be successful? Your verdict when we return.
Johnny was hitting me, and he was hitting me hard and repeatedly.
Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard.
This is going to be one of those big trials to watch.
You have these big celebrities that are going to be testifying.
Their reputations are at stake.
Johnny Depp was not successful across the pond, but he's got a second bite of the apple, this time in the United States.
Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. Live coverage starting next Monday at 9/8 Central on Court TV.
The defamation case between celebrity exes Johnny Depp and Amber Heard is set to begin next Monday, April 11th. Now, before we took a break, we looked at parts of Johnny Depp's complaint, but Depp isn't the only one claiming defamation. Amber Heard has filed a counterclaim against Depp, and according to her complaint, she says before he was even married to Ms. Heard, Mr. Depp threatened to kill her and otherwise harm her in private messages to friends. Now, these threats were realized in the form of rampant physical violence and abuse Ms. Heard suffered at Mr. Depp's hands before and during their marriage. Now, this frivolous lawsuit Mr. Depp has filed against Ms. Heard continues that abuse and harassment. Mr. Depp and/or his agents acting on his behalf have orchestrated a false and defamatory smear campaign against Ms. Heard that has included false and defamatory statements to reporters, repeatedly accusing Mrs. Heard of being a liar and a hoax artist, and accusing Ms. Heard of the crime of perjury. Now, through this counterclaim, Ms. Heard is finally, after all these years, fighting back. Ms. Heard asked this court to hold Mr. Depp fully and finally accountable for his conduct and to end Mr. Depp's abuse, lodged from a position of wealth and power. So, we posted to our social media pages and we asked you, the 13th juror, do you think Amber Heard will be able to prove her counterclaim against Johnny Depp? Let's begin with our 13th juror comment of the day from Sue, who says she could probably provide proof of some wrongdoing from Depp, and Depp has proof of her battery history as well. This is going to be a public slugfest the only winner will be the press. Guys, I think, you know, what's interesting about that is I think that's exactly right. And as I said, it's just going to be two famous folks, one a lot more famous than the other, on the stand, slinging more abuse at each other. Jennifer, how do you think this one turns out?
I don't think either of them are going to be successful, to be honest with you. But I do think that it'll change views in the court of public opinion, as we said before, you know, and I think that's probably the biggest outcome out of this. We'll all be watching. It may raise their rankings. I mean, maybe they will get, both of them get more movie parts after seeing this trial, because they're going to be in everybody's mind. We're all going to be looking at this and watching what goes on and the famous witnesses coming in. It's going to be certainly something for people to watch and be interested in.
No question about it. Our next comment comes from PG90 on YouTube, who says she has already lost in the court of public opinion. And you know, Al, that's absolutely true. I can tell you honestly from the comments on our website and in other places where I was researching today, people are not happy with her. They do not like her. And I, for the life of me, can't understand why. Do you have any idea why it's that way?
I have no understanding as to why, but I am going to be sending her as a gift from me a copy of Miss Brophy's book, The Wrong Husband. Okay. I think that it's the least I can do for her to send this to her. She'll maybe be able to understand better as to the choice she made. She doesn't deserve this grief. I mean, to be honest with you, like, look at Johnny Depp. He looks like a bum. I mean, he looks like a guy he was spending $50,000 a month on wine. Don't get me wrong. I'm impressed with that. But, I mean, you know, this guy is just beyond redemption as far as I'm concerned. She is the innocent victim in this. She may have fought back, but then again, you get to a point and you push and, you know, someone throws popcorn in your face and you shoot them, okay? We've seen this happen in court TV, all right? So, you know, I say that let's all take a look at this from the standpoint of he's not the lovable pirate that you see saying yo-ho-ho in a bottle of rum, okay? This is a guy that once he gets some rum into him is a dangerous individual. And someone that has taken, you know, physical violence out on this woman. It's never tolerated. It should never be accepted. And we should not be going after her. She's suing him as a counterclaim, which means that he struck first. So we should remember that. And
all right.
Just if you get an address for me, Michael, so I can send the book, I'd be most appreciative.
All right, I'll have the producers reach out to you there. Great stuff, though. I really like that. All right, and Martin commented tonight saying this is going to be a 100%. He said, she said, and maybe both of them will get nothing. They may both be guilty. But what's interesting, Darnell, is even if they're both guilty of abuse, that doesn't mean that Amber Heard's counterclaim still can't win, because her claim is that he's calling her a liar by saying that he abused her. It really doesn't have much to do with her abuse of him.
That's exactly right. The question is not about the abuse; it's a question about who's lying about it. And just to back up a little bit, one, I don't want Al to send that book to her at all because I don't want to give her any ideas. But I did some research in preparing for the show today, and it was very interesting to find out why this was in Fairfax, Virginia. And it appears that because of the Washington Post articles went through computer servers in Washington, that it ended up there. And so, every day you learn something new about the law, because I didn't realize that would be a jurisdictional reason. Second thing you learned about Fairfax, Virginia, is that the largest trial they've had was the 2002 sniper case in D.C. That was the closest they came. So when you have Elon Musk and other people testifying in this case, it's going to be something very, very different that you've ever seen in this area before. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see how, in fact, this plays out. I personally think, as the 13th juror said,
I got 10 seconds, quickly. How's this going to turn out?
It's just going to be a press victory. That's it.
All right. Thanks, guys. I really want to give big thanks to my think tank, Donnell Crossland, Jennifer Brandt, and Al Wunsch III. Thanks for joining me tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you all on. All right, we have to step aside for a quick break. When we come back, much, much more here on Court TV.